I'm just making this video to share a website that I made using OneNote. And you might think you cannot make a website using OneNote, but I feel like you probably can. So here's how I've done it. You can see here's my website here. Now this is a tech tip website for my the staff at my school. So just click on the Teams one, and there's like a little video here on how to use Teams effectively. Just click back to go back to the start. Maybe I want to get some tips on how to use OneNote, and I can find out about this. Now this is a living website, so obviously it's going to get created a bit further. Now there are also interactive parts of this website, so if somebody would like to request a tech tip, they can come in here and they can type in their request. This is something that's pretty advanced for a website. So I guess the big reveal, or perhaps not because I've already given the game away, is that this website is in OneNote. Alright, so you can see here, this is in fact just plain old OneNote. We've got our pages down the right hand side. Now the key to it feeling like a website, I suppose, is having these clickable menus that you can click and immediately get pushed over to whichever website whatever web page you need to get to. So if you wanted to create one of these for yourself, it's probably worthwhile thinking a little bit about what a website is, first of all. So you find a lot of definitions out there, but here's a pretty good one: a collection of web pages under a single URL. Most technical of definitions, but it will do for the purposes of this video. Now these are individual pages. These are individual pages, and all together they make up a website. When you're building something like this, just sort of keep this kind of file structure in mind. You have a home page, you've got some sub pages, you've got some sub pages under there. That sort of file structure is how a website really works. A website's just a fancy filing system, really. So this was my home page. You can see it's got 6 sub pages. Some of those sub pages have sub pages. Some of those sub pages have sub pages as well. The key to making it work like a website is these clickable ways of navigating, and creating one of those is really straightforward. So to get a bit meta here, I'm making a video about how to turn OneNote into a website. Maybe I can turn this into something for the actual website itself. So I'll call this making a website in OneNote. And then I'll take that to where, maybe underneath there, like that. Okay, so now I've got this OneNote tab, and now I want it to have a little image there that will send me to making a website in OneNote. So I've used Canva to make a little icon here. That's how I'm making all of my icons for my website. You can see it's pretty fast once you've got sort of a color scheme going. I'm going to copy and paste that. So just Control-C, Control-V. I've got this nice new little image. Resize it. Then just right-click it. Click Link here. And then we just link it to the page that we want to link it to. Now, OneNote makes that pretty easy because the website I want is, the page I want is making a website in OneNote. And it'll find that for me. And now when I click on that icon, it'll take me directly to that making a website in OneNote. Now, what I need, probably the last bit I need here, is a back key. And this little back image, it's just an image with a link back to the original page. Now, I can just copy and paste that. If I copy and paste that image into another page, it carries the link with it. So now if I click on that, it takes me back to my original page. Now, I guess one of the neater things about this website that other websites don't have is the collaborative space. So these two icons as well link to collaboration spaces where everyone can share things as well. It's pretty cool that way. And then obviously that back arrow just takes me back to my start again. That's it. That's how you can create a website in Teams. In OneNote. You might be thinking about access. How can people access this? You can just grab a share link up here from File. You can see here, Share. And you can get a link, a sharing link, get a sharing link here, copy that sharing link, paste it somewhere, and anyone can use that sharing link and see that website in a browser. It's fantastic. That is how to create a website using OneNote. If you've made it this far in the video, there is one more thing that I want to talk about that makes this, I think, really, really cool. Now these pages, I've put them in sort of file suborder order, but they don't need to be in that order at all to function. If I move that page over to here somewhere, the web page still works just fine. If I go to that OneNote page, that icon is still sitting there and it still refers to that page. Why is that interesting? Well, now you can have two different ways of navigating. You can have these as sort of topics, as categories that people can navigate to. But if these were getting published in order, which these ones will, we can then, instead of putting them in file, subfolder order here, we can put them in publish date or publish order down this side here, so that people can say, oh, I wanted to see that one. I know it got published last Tuesday, and they can find it in the correct order. So these do not need to be in folder, subfolder type order. They can be in a totally different order, an order that you might find useful, an order that might be different to how your website functions.